So for us to kind of just dive right on in, as to what we're here for today, since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay. When was the date? Was it the same day, next day? Tell me all about it.
It was the day after.
Oh, the day after. Okay. And
Mhm.
Kyla, you're in Cali, right?
I'm in California.
Okay. So how long were you in Arizona for?
I only stayed until the next day, so
Okay.
we act pretty quickly. So it was either going
Damn.
to be that night or the next
Damn.
day.
Got
Just
it. So where'd you
squeeze
guys
squeeze
go?
something in.
Yeah.
We got coffee. Do you remember the name of the place?
No, I don't remember.
We
Egypt.
got
Okay.
we went and grabbed coffee. It was over there in like that Biltmore area.
Nice.
So it's kind of like in between where I was coming from and where she was staying at.
Okay.
Y'all ever done that before? Walking around with somebody, it's like, hey, let's go in here and get something to eat real quick. Let's go grab a cup of coffee real quick. And you're like, what's the name of this place? Y'all be sitting there eating, about to order something off the menu. What's the name of this place again? And you look on the menu, it'd be something you can't even pronounce, but the food be good. And then you still leave. Y'all be so into the conversation with each other, you don't even remember the name of the place y'all was just at.
Okay. So how was that? How was the coffee date?
I'll let him go first.
I
Oh,
thought it was good. I
okay.
thought it was good.
Coffee day, yeah, I'll
I mean,
take it.
hopefully, how I felt about it isn't the opposite. But I thought it was a good time. I mean, we sat there for like three hours. I don't know. It was a long
Wow.
time. But we were just talking. It was a little different because like typically, like a first date, I don't I don't want to say intimate. It's not intimate. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's kind of just like the basics.
It didn't need to be
You
intimate.
know, like, oh, what kind of movies do you like?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
Just the
just
stuff like
regular
first
stuff.
that.
What's
one.
your favorite color? Yeah.
Surface level
Yeah, but
stuff.
yeah, exactly. But this conversation was more like, oh, we just matched, and there was almost like a slight bit of seriousness to it, like questions that I
Mm,
wasn't typically like asking or information that I was even looking for. And I think that's kind of why it was longer too than just like a typical, like quick interaction, an hour or something like that. But I got to know her, and it was the same energy that she kind of had on the show. I thought
mm.
she was pretty cool, and yeah, that's what she kind of just reinforced that belief.
Okay. Nice. How was it for you, Kyla?
So I kind of want to go back a little bit because I feel like certain details are real important.
Okay. No,
Okay.
go for it. Let me know
so,
it all, girl.
All right.
so after we matched, went off stage, we opted into staying to watch the rest of the couples because we wanted to see how everything was going to go.
Mhm.
So we sat down and immediately, we started talking, uh, and the chemistry was there. He talked about, how my nails weren't too long. He liked how I looked. He instead of like going along with what some of the guys said about my clothing, he actually said he really liked my clothing. He commented on my hair. He liked that as well. He said
Nice.
I looked very classy, very modest.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh,
did,
so yeah,
yes.
that's kind of how that went. And we even, at one point, I got really cold inside of the studio. So he put his arm around me. Like felt like there was a instant click with us in terms of attraction and connection. He felt
Mhm.
very mature, very down to earth, and I
Very gentlemanistic. I just made that word up, but it sounds like it makes sense.
appreciated that about him. Um, and so yeah, after the show, we went to the lobby area, and everybody was just kind of like mingling. But I felt like I just popped y'all balloon, and you popped my balloon, and it kind of was just weird being there. So immediately he asked me for my number. We exchanged contact, and he said that, oh, I met his brother too. He introduced
Oh,
himself. Um, he said that he had to see what his brother was going to do because he just came into town, so he wanted to make sure they didn't have any plans, and if not, he wanted to then meet up with me
mhm.
after. So I said, okay.
Wait a minute. So did he come into town for this show, but put his brother like I make time for my like it's like hey my brother lives out here, but I'm also about to go to the pop the balloon show. But I'm gonna schedule some stuff for my brother. But just in case I match, I'm gonna let my brother know. If I match, you might not see me. You might. I'm not sure. Or if Shorty cool, she can come and we are. She already meet some of the family on the first date.
I said, I'm going to leave now because it's super awkward. So I left. And when I got back to my hotel, he called me. He said that everyone in the group had decided to go out somewhere, some club that was local. And
Or I would, you know what? In that case, I would just plan ahead and stay out there for like 3 days. So just in case I do match, I got time for to spend with her and time to spend with my brother.
and did I want to meet him there? So I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, because first date, I love it. So um, he said that he would let me know about maybe 10 minutes before he left because he had to run home really quickly. And then I could meet him. So time went by. Maybe like an hour later, he called me and said that he had eaten already and he had jet lag and he was tired now. So
Oh,
he
damn.
said, can we just take a rain check for this? And maybe tomorrow, being that I was leaving the next day,
Damn.
um, we could grab coffee or something and it would help with my drive. So I agreed to that. Um, yeah. So then the next morning, he did follow up. He initiated. He planned the coffee date in between his work schedule, and we met for coffee. And so this is where we kind of get into the coffee thing. During our date, honestly, I felt like we talked about so much. Like he said, we talked about a lot of things that weren't just surface level. We talked about deeper things. It was very intentional and
Okay.
just something that I really appreciated at the time. We talked about communication styles.
Yeah.
We talked about our likes, our dislikes. We talked about our hobbies. Of course, work a little bit more, our families, the family dynamic, what we had going on. Um, we even talked about our timeline on dating,
Okay.
marriage. We talked about
Good
kids.
topics.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
How long was y'all there for? How long until your flight left?
We talked about kids. We talked about just the future
She probably had to leave that evening.
between us. We talked about school. We talked about,
School, okay.
he even told me that he thought about going to an HBCU in the past because he wanted to find his black wife.
What the
Um, so for that, he
what the hell?
appreciated, a
Okay.
black woman's features. He appreciated what my features were
Mhm.
because, as black women, we have, certain things that kind of stand out about us. And he said he wanted that for our kids. He wanted
Mhm.
them to be athletically built.
Oh,
So, I just felt like he was
coming from different people, that's gonna sound a little bit different. Like these guys, like if a person was straight up white and they just said that, it would be like, okay, it'd be almost on some Get Out type level.
super
If
intentional.
you ever seen that movie,
He was
if you haven't seen it, just go watch the movie Get Out and then come back to this video and you'll get the joke.
super enthusiastic about us. Everything felt natural. Our chemistry was there.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think one thing that kind of threw me at first was that he said that he didn't believe in God and that he
Mm.
just followed himself. And so I was kind of thrown because I'm like, well, because we're talking about religion, but I'm like, dang, that's
Damn,
something I wish I would.
I might have heard that before, but not in that way. Did he actually say it kind of like just nonchalant? Like, no, I follow myself. I don't get. Like, did he say inspiration from something or the universe or it's always safe to go with, hey, I believe in something. I think it's bigger than that. I don't think even the book can tell you everything, but I do believe in something up there, and I am open to, you hear people taking different paths and they study all different religions and stuff like that. He didn't even say that. He just said, I follow myself. I don't care. Don't even classify me as an atheist. There's enough goddamn classifications.
Said on the show.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
but I do know that I've had my own journey in finding my love for God and, finding my way.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to, slight him for his decision. I wanted to see kind of where his mind was at, um,
Yeah.
and just see if we could make it work either way.
Yeah, yeah.
Reservations about that. But like you said, we spoke for a long time. Actually, it was 4 hours because we started at 12 and we ended at 4. He didn't even want to leave. It was,
Oh,
well,
wow.
I didn't want to leave either, but it was the fact that it was getting darker and I had a
You had
6
to
hour drive
drive. Yeah.
to LA. So I was like, okay, so, maybe I should get on the road now. But I did really enjoy our talk and, we summed things up. Um,
Okay.
it,
Nice.
we both didn't want things to end. So a
Oh.
great
Hmm.
time.
That sounds like a really, really good first
That sounds
date,
cool. Yeah, I like that. I like
and
how that
it's
That
sounded.
was.
4 hours. Y'all were chopping it
Yeah.
Over
up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so once you left, you got home. How was
Hmm.
the communication from that point on? Did you guys talk, FaceTime, message? How's everything?
Did you want to go? I know I just
Yeah,
talked.
let's hear from Dev now.
Um, yeah, so let's see, right off the bat, that was what, like a Sunday. And then yeah,
Hmm.
so then we were talking and then we were kind of going over like how we like to talk, kind of what she was mentioning. I like audio messages because I just think they're a little more you get the tone.
Yeah.
You can kind of you it's
Okay, I thought I was the only one. I only know maybe I know one girl in my phone that does send them occasionally. Actually, I could say out of everybody I know, this one girl, I could bump it up. It's more than just occasionally. Every now and then, she'll send a voice message, a voice text, whatever, instead of an actual text message. And I press play, then you kind of like what do you say? You get the tone, you get the context of the voice, so stuff doesn't come off mean or anything like that. I think more people should do that. I think that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting a text message, you be like, "Whoa, what do you mean by that?" But you play the voice version, you hear the, you know what I'm saying? It comes off a lot better. I like it better.
way more expressive than just like a text because texting can come off like you just have no idea how the person is saying it.
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
what we were doing. We were sending audio messages, and that like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I know I was probably pretty responsive during those days
Hmm.
because I just work from home, so it's super easy for me to listen to a message and get one out.
Yeah.
And then like Thursday came around, and I have a couple jobs. Like all I do is work, and that was another thing that we talked about too over coffee. It was like schedules and kind of how things would even work out.
Hmm.
But then I go into like I work all Thursday, then I'm trying to get to the gym, and then like that's my whole day. And then Friday work, Saturday work, Sunday
Hmm.
work.
That's
So
how it
that's
is. That's
when
how it
I
is.
definitely got
There's no off days. After high school, there is no off days. You make up your own weekends. In high school, even you see the older kids that be getting out of school, like the college kids and all that. Sometimes you be hearing about a mom and dad went to the club on Wednesday. Like, what the hell on Wednesday? Like, damn, in the middle of the week, y'all don't have to. Man, boy, shut up. You be hearing about people partying on Tuesday night, Thursday night. You be like, what the hell? Then you get out of school, you realize, man, you make up your own weekends pretty much. Weekend is still the weekend, but you literally got to make up your own actual weekends. Like your weekends could be Sunday and Tuesday. You know what I mean?
less responsive. And that was probably the first time when I didn't respond for like it might have been like 2 or 3 days. It might have been 3 days because I think she got on me. She
Damn.
said she
You
was
didn't
like,
reply for 3 days?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So yeah, that
What was you?
was not cool on my part. But I just get busy and I don't want to talk
I know what he means. There's women that do that and men that do that. I think I might have done. I don't know if I've done 3 days. I think I might have did a day and maybe some change. But it was like an ongoing conversation to where the conversation is not going to stop unless one of us stops. And it's been a few times, but it hasn't been anything like that bad to be like super disrespectful. You know what I mean to anybody I was dating. But I get that though.
to anybody, and I just kind of go into like
3 days though, damn.
that mode where I'm
Okay.
just all about work,
Yeah.
work in the gym, and then just my dog.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then I finally responded to that.
It's like you're constantly moving around. You go home, you cook, and he got pets. Let's say you got 1, 2, 3 jobs. You're constantly moving off the time clock, on the time clock. Go to the gym, do this. You're moving, and then you're looking at your phone trying to text at the same time. Then a person keeps texting you back.
And then at that point,
Depending
it
on your
just felt
schedule,
like
but
for me, I don't know how deep you want me to go, like in this little bit.
Let,
give some
let
details.
us know everything. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Okay. So when that happened, I don't
Now, when we give details like this, sometimes we're giving real details. Like sometimes the person really don't be lying. Like it'd be super duper details, and somebody be like, "Oh, he's making up all those little details to make it seem like make it seem like something it ain't." You know what I mean? But no, these details is like you don't want to go into details. All right, I'm gonna let you know. It's gonna seem crazy, but
know. I don't know what kind of like switched with me, but it was just like,
long distance.
maybe I don't want to like not that it's too much effort for me because that's kind of unfair to say.
Nah,
Hmm.
Um,
don't say that. It's not gonna make
but
sense.
it was just already becoming like a challenge for me just to even be responsive. And it's not
Hmm.
like something that's 1000% new.
You can't explain that.
But it just really depends on what I got going on. So
Okay.
then I finally responded to that. and then she kind of got on me about that one. And then at that point, I was just trying to consider like how, where I wanted to go with it, or also what was actually happening is I was replaying our conversation over and over again over coffee because
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to weigh like, okay, is
You got to go see her for a real actual date. You know what I mean? Because you missed the night before, you ate already, did whatever you did, and you had jet lag, you had a little coffee date. But I would immediately try to set up something since it's long distance. Hey, we got to have a real date and set this up because I'm super busy. You're super busy. Let's schedule a date right now, like a week from here on out or something like that. Like next week or the week after next, since it's long distance and his schedule is crazy as hell. Don't know what her schedule is.
this feasible? Is this something that is this a relationship that that can thrive and like flourish? And I was just going over everything, just kind of like making a list in my head. And it got
Mm-hmm.
to a point where I was like, I don't really know. And then that's when I kind of, it was between work and then that. And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then when she got on me about not responding, I was still like thinking about it. And then that was kind of when it was for me. I was like, all right, I'm going to tell her how I feel about all this. And then I probably responded a few days again after that with that information.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll just kind of cut it right there.
Okay, so
Okay. So
cut it short.
you said this is not the first time this has happened. So your communication skills have been a problem in the past. Is that
That's
what
what it
you're
sounds
It's
saying?
like.
it's not even just communicating because I mean I know how to communicate. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
matter. It's almost like, do I want to put forth the effort to communicate, and then my
Okay.
availability just in general.
See, that's why I say when y'all come on this show, man, if y'all got wild ass work schedules, like I always say, I can't say no, you can't find nobody, but you can possibly get lucky to have somebody that's in your. If there was a girl that he was into, and she was somewhat equally into him or whatever, vice versa, right? And she lived closer in his area, let's say less than 30 minutes away, then cool. But it's not only his schedule, his communication issues, but she's also long distance. But when you come on the show, your work schedule got to be set up in a way it's like, yo, you got to be ready to date because you don't know what you're gonna run into. You don't know what your match got. You don't know what's in store for you. You don't know what your match can bring to you, what their schedule is like. You know what I mean? So I would say only go on a dating show. You really looking for somebody and your schedule is open. People be going on these shows and they be like, man, all I do is work 7 days a week. Blah, blah, blah. But there might be a girl that might be for you that might be willing to be patient with you. You know what I mean? That's what I meant by earlier. I said I can't say you can't not find nobody. You could possibly get lucky, but just to be blunt, I wouldn't even consider unless I had a work schedule with some free time. Like if I had a certain amount of me time and dating, then it would be feasible. I have this much me time, I could fit a person in to build a relationship with into my schedule. You know what I mean? So hey,
just because I do work a lot. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like today, even when the night out after the show got postponed, it was because
Mm-hmm.
I got home and I was like, I don't know why I told anybody that I was about to leave my house again because I got to work in the morning. I was
oh
like, I gotta go
Mm-hmm.
work. I gotta work
damn,
in the morning, and then like even planning the coffee date was around work and like squeezing that in, even though it was
damn.
4 hours of squeezed in. I'm still managing, work at the same time. So it really just
Okay.
becomes like availability. But yeah, I mean, I know how to communicate. I know how to use words, but it's just a matter of,
If you want to.
yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Kyla, how was it? He said you got on him a couple times about the whole, him getting back to you and stuff.
So he could have simply just said pop long distance and my work schedule wouldn't, suffice for, being long distance or whatever. I don't like you enough. Or something like that. I don't know.
What was
Mhm.
said? What, like, how was that making you feel?
Um, so
She was willing
I'll
though.
just
She was
start with the
willing.
story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, when on my way home with the drive,
Yeah.
he checked in. He was very consistent about that and making sure I got in safe. So then, like he said, he did mention over coffee that he preferred to do voice notes, and I was fine with that because I'm on the go as well. We live in two different states, so I know that we have to find our way together to kind
Mm-hmm.
of connect in terms of schedule. So I was fine with that, and we were super consistent. That was another reason I was fine with it because it wasn't there was no lag. There was no, you know, going times where I didn't know where he was, or,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was on his mind. He was saying a lot of things that were on his mind. I will say the voice messages were very intentional. I keep stressing that word because I think that's what keeps replaying in my head. The intentionality of this whole thing and how consistent it started off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, we even, he mentioned that we talked about schedules. We did talk about schedules. We talked about, because he has so many jobs. He named a few jobs that he had, coffee over coffee, and I was like, okay, so when are we gonna find the time? And
Right.
asked him specifically if he felt that he could, afford his lifestyle and a family with the cybersecurity job alone, or did he need all of the jobs to exist?
Mm.
Um, and he said no. He said the other jobs were just because he needed something to do. He figured instead of spending money at the club, he might as well make money,
Okay.
So,
I be carrying stuff like that. I be like, look, if you're single, no kids, whatever age you are, take advantage of all the free time you have and stack up. Get 2 or 3 jobs. You ain't doing nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
um, I took his word on that one. But so back to consistency and talking. So we were super consistent with that. We talked about the schedules. We talked about him possibly coming to visit me based on his schedules during the week
Yeah.
would be better. And yeah, he even, we talked about things like my sorority. He talked about how he even research on my sorority.
Ah.
And
His little
that's how,
cybersecurity IT job. You know he gonna research everything.
oh, into me, I guess I was getting that he was.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like just even taking the time out to learn about me, learn about what I like, what I don't like, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. I'm trying to learn about him as well. And so yeah, we were super consistent, and then eventually he just ghosted me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
Wait a minute, I thought he said y'all talked about it. Well, then he said he sent a message. I don't know. I could have swore he said y'all had some words and talked about it and then just cut it. I didn't know the cut was like a ghost. Damn. Unless I wasn't paying attention. I could have swore he said he
for
What's
everyone
going
in the
on?
yeah, for everyone in the world, when you get ghosted, it's kind of like, okay, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day, completely disappeared, did not say a word. The second day, did not say a word as well. However, I was feeling like, well, maybe the man is in the hospital. Maybe he's
Oh,
sick.
here we go
Like
with
he
that.
has to be.
Here we go
Because
with
like,
that. Here we
There
go.
because
has
how,
to be a reason.
Yep.
yes,
Is
how
he injured? Is he dead? Yep.
go from
Mm-hmm.
being super consistent for some time and then
Just
an abrupt stop,
Mm.
So,
happens to all of us.
taking my pride out of it, I was like, let me just reach out to him, see if he's okay. So I reached out to him.
Even if some people don't want to admit it sometimes.
I asked him, hey, hope all is well. Are you okay? He answers right back.
Now I can say it's never fully happened to me. It's happened to me before, some odd years ago. But I want to say probably like over like 10 years ago, maybe 11, something like that. But I saw the person, like, what was I doing? But I saw the person and then she came up to me, oh, hey, what's going on, son? I was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up, man? Ain't been a minute. Yeah, I know I've been doing this. I've been doing such and such, such and such. And then she just decided to just, I guess, remain cool. I guess she saw some type of friendship there or something like that. I never really approached her for anything or towards anything, but we just remain cool to this day. Like, um, she just decided, hey, take my number down, da da da. We can hang out sometimes or whatever. Now, the time that we did hang out, we hung out twice. The first time we just hung out, got some grub real quick, da da da. The second time she came and got me and then bought me food. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I don't know, she just remained cool. But that's all I got. I don't got no juicy, crazy story or I'm ghosted and some wild dramatic shit.
Like, this is the time when you don't answer, but he answers right back. And he's like, hey, sorry, just super busy. I'm alive though. I'm just super
Oh
busy, but I'm gonna respond back to your voice message tomorrow when I get in the office.
man.
So I
Okay.
said,
Okay.
okay. Well, actually,
Fam, you got other girls too. I know you do. All this ghosting and all this other stuff. Remember, there's more matches that be made in all different types of ways off the show than on the show. Your freaking inbox blows the hell up. BM kind of acknowledges that sometimes. Like, hey man, look, we bring you on the show for a reason. somebody gonna match with you if you don't match on this show. He said, "Pop the balloon. This is not pop the balloon to find friends, but you do find friends in your DMs, and you can match with one of those friends, and it could develop into something." And I think his DMs probably blew up, and he's hanging out with girls that are probably around his area. You gonna get long distance, right? Not gonna work. But girls in your DMs gonna find out where you live at and be like, "Okay, I didn't even know you existed around these parts, and now I see you pop the balloon. You right down the street. Let me hit you up." And that's what's been. He be using his convenience. You know what I'm saying? Any girls in his vicinity, he's hitting them.
I didn't even respond because
Maybe she is too. Maybe she not. Maybe she, she's giving other dudes a chance. But I can see at least she's trying here.
what do I need to
So
say to that? So then the next day comes, seeing if he's gonna follow up. Not one word. Not one word. We went from morning to evening. Not one word. The next day after that comes, and then he sends a voice message later on in the day. And he basically just stated that, he had been busy. He thought about me, but he just, he just had a lot going on, and he was doing different things. He had to get a gym lift in. He had to go for what is that, a fitting for a suit. Like, to me, it was things that if I was about someone, I would make time for them. And he just said, I grabbed some food to eat. I went out with whoever he went out with. He kind of grazed over that. And it was just like, yeah, I thought about you and I was gonna respond, but I just didn't. And so,
Damn.
the origin of the message was just super insensitive to me.
Insensitive? Damn.
And then he started deflecting.
I was hoping she wasn't gonna say that word.
A Waymo that he took, and it was just a great experience for him. And it was a time he had. Meanwhile, I'm in limbo, like trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I responded the next day and I told him that, well, again, I'm glad that you're okay, you're alive, but I'm kind of concerned about that, because if you kind of disappear on somebody that's supposedly you're working towards something with, and we're long distance, I mean, that was made very clear on the show. Yeah. It kind of was a red flag. It kind of told me that something was wrong, like deeper than what he was telling me. And I felt like, honestly, it was either something else or someone else, because
easy to say.
That's the only thing that made sense to me. Yeah, so from that day, after I responded, he took 7 days to then respond back. And
7
so
days?
when he responded back, he lied and said it was.
Okay, when is the ghost like, boom, fell off the face of the earth? Because this sounds like multiple ghosts instances here. Yeah, ghosted again, they ghosted once, and then ghosted again, then he got 7 days ghosts. This sounds like multiple ghosts. Why he got the same look that I have in my face right now? This is multiple ghosts. Where's the ghost? Maybe she got something wrong. I don't know.
Because he said it was because he doesn't talk to somebody. He doesn't talk to people every day, and life was just going on. But then later on, as he's continuing talking, he says, "Well, actually, the real reason is because,
man, that water look nice and cool. It's a little hot where I'm at right now.
I just feel like when we talked about kids, it was one of those things where you said that you wanted them sooner than I would have wanted them, and verbatim when we talk." I want to go back to the point of the kids. When we talked about kids, he asked me when I wanted kids. I told him, because I was very clear on the show, wanted 4 kids, but I told him when, because I'm doing my singing career right now, I got a lot going on, and I'm sure he does as well. I'm not looking for a kid tomorrow. I'm not looking for a kid within the next 2 to 3 years. I said, I don't want kids until after 30 years old.
Okay.
He says, yeah, okay, that's cool. I could work with that. He said, but I want kids maybe like 3 to 4 years from now. And, again, we went through the whole timeline of marriage and stuff like that. Yeah. So I said that was fine. But then on his voice message, he says, well, actually, I don't want kids till I'm 35 and I'm 30. So like, you lied in person and said, 3 to 4 years was good for you. And you never told me anything about, oh, I'm feeling some kind of way about, your timeline on kids. And that was a simple
35 and he's 30. So 5. I mean, y'all could have made a meet in the middle type thing. That's not too far off from what you.
thing that we could have communicated.
And then you talking about a singing career. I mean, if a singing career takes off and you start blowing up and you start traveling around performing and things like that, and you end up getting signed on or however you're gonna blow up, that you're not ready for, I mean, that can take your life in a whole different direction than you expect. But
About and kind of cleared up, because again, like, I'm not ready to be a mom. That was hence why I said I didn't want someone with kids,
With
because I'm not ready
kids.
to be a stepmom or a mom right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like that was an excuse that he used. And
Okay.
so yeah, I felt like the whole message, he was joking, and he's yawning,
Mm,
he's joking, he thinks this is funny, and the whole time is playing with my feelings. But he was
okay.
super airy, emotionless, cold. After that voice message, I cried. Like, I
Oh
genuinely
no.
cried, because I felt like he was playing with me, and I was serious about this from the beginning, and I just did not appreciate that.
Okay.
you know those situations where one person takes it super duper serious, but then the other person doesn't. In certain situations, there might be a misunderstanding. In this situation, is like when you keep ghosting somebody and they keep reaching out, and you're kind of leading them on the path to where this is like they're trying to figure out some shit, and you're kind of throwing them in circles. Seems like he kind of knew that was what's going on, but you just kind of like he just for some reason just leading them. I mean, ghosting somebody, and then there's people that ghost people and don't talk to them at all until the catch ups, and they be doing it even when the catch up be know they got to be in person. Like foul stuff, like crazy stuff. Like I seen a girl reject a guy because dudes were in her DMs, and that made everybody upset at her. That was ignorant as hell. And she was just like, "Well, you're not trying hard enough. Just guys are in my DMs trying harder." And he's like, "I matched with you on the show, I'm trying to set up a date." Well, you got to try harder now. It's dudes in my DMs. That's one of the most messed up ones I see. But this one is pretty much just like he never cut it off completely. He never said this is not going to work. I don't think this is a good idea. You're a great person, but long distance and I'm kind of busy. He didn't even say that. He's just like, yeah, I'm responding to you, da 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 do. Sees that she's trying to be sincere, and then it's just like the voice message and how it supposedly sounds to her. Got her feelings all hurt, and now he's just like, oh Jesus, oh man, like now he doesn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So he's gonna have to take responsibility or something.
All right. So, Dev, what do you think it was that kind of clicked? Like, do you have anything specific that clicked in your head that made you realize I don't really want to put any more effort towards this?
Well, my timeline for kids has always been like the same for like the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been like 5 years from now, or 6 years from a year ago, or 7 years from before that. And I could have sworn, maybe I just misremembered that, but I thought she told me she wanted to start having kids in about 2 years. So I was like, 5 years, 2 years, that's pretty different. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
fairly significant.
Right.
Not to
Yeah, 4 years, like she just said, ain't really that much.
mention
It's a year
my
off.
timeline won't shift up; it'll only shift further away. Um,
Okay.
so then it's
Huh.
like now you're talking like even more time, and I just felt like that was. I just knew I wasn't gonna budge on that. Like, I mean, I've been told I'm stubborn, but I knew I wasn't gonna budge on that note. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want it to be like a point of contention down the line. So it's just like that's pretty significant, and that's like it felt like enough of a reason to be like, all right, yeah, maybe maybe this isn't something that we would pursue or that we should pursue. And that's always like something that I'm always aware of. Just like, okay, when is your timeline of having children? And I just didn't want her to keep delaying and delaying and delaying because I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know
Okay.
if I misremembered that, but that was like a significant point amongst it all. I mean, there's
Uh,
like little things too, but it's just like that was the most significant. It's just like I think that's a good enough reason.
But
Okay.
so what were the little things, I guess, because I'm
She
confused.
feels like she's in the dark, basically.
Yeah, not hearing
Fair.
anything but that kids, especially when we talked about kids in person, and again, like I just can't help but stress the fact that there
Forget the kids. There's other things important that we need to get to the bottom of on his side.
were no reservations on your end. I didn't see anything, any frustration, anything. You even told me you wanted to name our daughters Angela and Victoria. Like we're talking about kids' names and whatnot, and for you to then throw that back and use that as a reason where, oh well, you want them a little quicker, when I never came off it, I need kids tomorrow. I don't know if you were scared by the whole 4 kids thing, but you expressed that you wanted 3 kids and what was one more. So there's no way you could have been thrown off by 4.
He didn't say anything about the numbers. He just said the timelines. Like, did you ever say 2 years before?
No, it wasn't the number or anything.
Or what else could it have been?
Yeah, I guess she just wants to know what else. What were the little things? You said there were some little things. What were those little?
I can tell you one thing. If you've had 2 or 3 jobs, I know I'm pausing a lot, but hold on. Work with me here. You ever had 2 or 3 jobs? You've ever had those days to where you know your schedule is crazy with those 2 or 3 jobs and you're working back to back and you actually don't really have no time except for your lunch breaks or whatever on those jobs to text people back and forth, and maybe you have busy jobs and stuff where you're not on your phone all day? Or you have one job where you don't really have access to your phone like that through most of the shift except for breaks. And on your second job, you can kind of be on the phone a little bit, but you're scurrying, rushing throughout, doing stuff all day. Then when you get home, you only got a few hours to, wash up and go to sleep. Then you got to get up and do it again. Sometimes if you have multiple jobs like that, you might have some days where you have 2 or 3 days like that, where you don't really get a chance to really conversate. You have full text message conversations because your days are so scratched up. You never know a day could really get like this. And you're like, damn, my days are so busy. I don't even really got time to text and talk. Damn, she's going to be mad at me, but I'm busy as hell. Every day is not going to be like that. At least you're going to have some time, some downtime when you're in the bed or something like that to respond to text messages. I think he was messing with other girls.
Things.
That's all. I think he was messing
Real
with
quick,
other girls.
those names for kids are just like names that I have in my head. Like it was that I didn't want it to come off like I would never start a conversation like that, that early to be like, this is what I want to name our children. I just would.
So do you understand this is what I'm going off of? You did.
No, I brought it up. Like these are names that I like for sure. And then we were talking about names that we liked.
She's taking it differently than what he's putting off.
Like didn't like.
That's what that is.
Okay, I get how it can be perceived as that. That's fine. And then I didn't want religion to be a thing in the future either. Just because it's just when she told me that she thought about like mentioning that on the show, or at least the person that she matched with, she kind of decided that she was okay if they were not religious, but not okay if they were like of a different religion. And I just felt like she was kind of sacrificing with that. And I was just thinking about the dynamic of having children and having one parent that is religious and then one that is me, who, like I just don't know how you go about that time when it's like, all right, let's pray, or we do something like that. And it's just like, all right, am I going to be involved in like every situation, acting like this is what I do? Or
I mean, it's cool to pray every now and then. If you're not religious and you date somebody that's religious, I know a lot of people like that. One of my friends isn't really religious at all, and his girlfriend is super religious. She goes to church every Sunday. She's like a part of the church club, like all this other stuff. Got the son baptized and everything. You know what I mean? It could work, and it's okay. It's like if people that aren't religious still pray over the food. Everybody pray. They do. And when it's an activity and everybody's there, they join in. You don't really have to. If you get that put off by religion, I don't know. You have your reasons, but I don't know. I don't think praying is really that big of a. Some people say it's a big deal, but I'm saying if you're not religious, it's not a big deal if you do it. It's just some little talk time or whatever, however they do. You don't have to say anything.
or am I like I just don't
just say amen and that's it or whatever.
Take part in this, and then now it's like, okay, why doesn't dad do this and why does mom do that? So it just seemed like another point where it was just like, oh, that's just something difficult or an obstacle to overcome in the future. And we're just not at a point yet where I'm like, oh, I want to go forward and overcome that obstacle in the future, just because it is so early in the relationship. And then another thing is,
y'all weren't even in an actual real relationship though. Y'all ain't even seen each other at night, FaceTime at night or nothing. You don't know what each other look like in the dark. It was not an official relationship. It was a match. Y'all trying to make it to a relationship, but goddamn.
Big fitness person. like
Hmm.
right after this call, I will be going to the gym 7 days a week.
Wow,
Um,
seven. That's a
Damn.
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
with my schedule and things like that. So I squeeze it in as much as I possibly can. Um, and I asked her like, what was her gym regimen and things like that, and it just wasn't like it was to me. It didn't come off as like a significant aspect in like your day to day. So
Okay.
to me, it was just like, all right, like it's not even just the gym, but I think about the future, and I want to be attracted to my wife forever until I
Okay.
die. And I feel like the gym is a huge part of that and like maintaining, that physical attraction and things like that.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like, okay,
She
sure,
looks.
it would be way easier to like get somebody on board like my regimen
Hmm.
if they're here. It's a little more difficult.
So it's like I said, she was never a real match. As long as distance, your schedule's too busy, and she don't go to the gym like that. And the religion thing, that's neither here nor there, because you're willing to work with her on that part at least. But other than that, she's definitely not a match. I see 3 red X's on stuff that she don't qualify for.
With the distance. Because like what typically happens is you just kind of follow along each other. It's like, okay, you see me going to the gym. It's like, okay, now I want to go to the gym, and it kind of works out that way. But since that distance exists, it's just another obstacle.
Okay.
Okay, so did you miss the part that I said I dance at Debbie Allen's academy
No, for sure. I know you do that.
in the fitness? So like, because I kind of felt that going towards, oh, in the future I might not be attracted to you.
Yeah, that's what it
Like,
sounded
did
like,
you miss
dude.
the part that I am physical? It may not be the gym, so to speak, but dance is a form of physical fitness as well. Like, did you miss that part?
No, for sure. I believe that, but it's just like I just know it's like gym, yoga, Pilates is like where I go when I'm like, all right, staying in shape. I'm not saying that you can't stay in shape from dancing. It's just like it's also something that I'm not also involved in. So it's not necessarily a disconnect, but it's just not something that we kind of are in sync about.
So you're saying you would have preferred someone who
It's closer to him, so they could do it together, kind of. I guess I don't know.
you guys can have that in common, like you can go gym together. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, because if you don't, I will I will like make note of like the fact that I'm going to the gym. Not in like I don't want to say like
You go 7 days a week, so are you a gym rat? That's what it sounds like, bro.
but like when it comes to squats or something like that, it's like, oh, I will make a comment if you don't do something like right. Just because it's like I'm trying to encourage you to like get on board that aspect. But yeah, no,
Okay.
like the gym is like I want like, I love that. And then even for the children. Like I grew up. The reason why I'm super into the gym and growing up my whole life is people making comments about how big my dad was. Oh, your
Hmm.
dad's so big, his arms are so big. So it's just like I was like, I love that about, hearing that about my dad. It was like one other thing to admire about him. So I'm like, I want my kids to feel the
Okay.
same way. When I pick them up
Dude,
from
do you want like Olympic kids or something?
school, when we do anything, I'm at the basketball game. Dude, your dad's so in shape, and it's just like, yeah, and he can just have that.
Hmm.
They can have that. So
Okay, you love your dad. That's cool.
it's just like one of those things for me.
Okay.
So I guess
That sounds like a lot, but not, but a lot, sort of. Homegirl, I don't think you want to date him. That relationship's gonna get annoying. I mean, working all those jobs and all that stuff, cool. You bringing in the money. You want to do your singing career and being super religious, cool. But you talking about the gym and clocking you at the gym, and he already sounds a little picky now with it. You know what I mean? I don't think you just cut this short. Just end this. This ain't gonna work. Arlette, you can end it now.
the crazy part about it is, why didn't you ask me if I was open to going to the gym with you? Like you never. What I'm hearing now was never expressed. Like little do you know, my family
Didn't you have to fly somewhere?
owns a gym. My dad and my brother are bodybuilders. That
Oh.
I've grown up in the gym.
Hmm.
So for you to kind of just not even ask and assume that I wasn't open to the gym and kind of just sideswipe me with that, to me that's just shallow. It's very shallow.
Well, it's not about being open to the gym.
Well,
It's just
yeah.
the fact that you just said it. It's like, would I be willing to go to the gym with you? But it's like that aspect is just that distance creates that disconnect and makes that
Okay.
so much harder.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't worry about your dad and your brother. We're talking about you.
So I guess in the end, you're basically saying the long distance, even though on the show you said you were okay with it, but you're kind of saying in the end, it's something
It's
that
the distance,
is.
man.
I'm not against long distance, but you're just talking about. I'm not against, or yeah, I'm. What I am against is, I think relationships should be, there should be a nice flow to them, and they
Okay.
shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world. I'm not a part of that. Like, work through all this, blah blah. Like, I'm not a
It
part.
seemed cool. You just had a busy schedule, and you didn't. We still didn't get why you actually decided to just lead her on and ghost her. Or did I miss that part? He never revealed the actual key reasons, because he's saying he's open to long distance and all this. I don't, fam, dude, you're confusing me. I was trying to be with you, but I don't know.
Of that. I like my
Okay.
life. My life is already as hard as it needs to be.
Uh-huh.
What I don't need is another challenge in a relationship. So in a
So what's the challenge? What's that right now?
situation where things do work out very well, it's almost like,
Besides the distance, you don't have a problem.
not, it doesn't have to be necessarily a perfect match, because that is asking for a lot. But like a very, very ideal, like we are very in line with like our lifestyles and everything just kind of fits.
Mm-hmm.
I got no problem with long distance at all.
Okay.
But when you add those additional obstacles, then it's just like, all right, I got a lot going on, and that's just a whole nother thing to consider on top of the fact that, like, I don't need to see you every day. Like, I'm cool. I'm busy enough. I can see you once a week. I can see you once a month. But it's just like all those other little things. It's like, I don't want to put forth that much effort in something that feels like it's going to be difficult.
Okay.
Like, more difficult than it should be for me when it comes to a relationship.
All right, man. I guess. I mean,
So what was the last thing that was said between the two of you? Like, how did this come to an end officially?
So it was the message that he sent me a week later, and I never responded. The message, I believe, was very cold, again, very insensitive, very emotionless. He was laughing, yawning. He thought it was a joke. He thought the entire thing was a
so
joke.
here's the thing. I don't think he said it in a way to where it was a joke. Here's my thing. Hold on, work with me now. He said it in a way as if nothing was wrong. That's all it was. Like, it was a regular conversation. And for her, it's just like he's talking like it's normal. Like, nothing was wrong with what he just did. He just ghosted me a bunch of times, left me on red, didn't respond for days, 7 days. And I'm up here trying to see what's going on. And it's obvious to both of us that, like, I'm getting ghosted. Like, what's really going on? And he's doing this on purpose. So the voice message he left sounds super casual. Huh? Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, but then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to her, it's like a fucking joke. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? He's treating us like this, like this is nothing. Like I wasn't serious. Like I'm some type of rag doll. You just throwing my feelings around. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm guessing. Of course, we've all seen this a few times before. Whether you've seen it through other people's relationships or you've been through it yourself.
And I just,
And yes, it does happen to men too. But this is not that situation. This is the man to a woman. The woman getting it done to her. So
honestly, I just concluded that it seemed like I was just something to do, because when
yeah.
we talked about exes, and he expressed that his last ex in 2023 was just something to do for him. And, she was just convenient.
Really?
So that's why it
Damn,
lasted as long as it did.
that is cool.
So I
Dang.
figure if he could do that in a real relationship with
Why'd you even come on the show now? Damn.
someone,
Stay off the
then
show.
who am I? Like, who am I? And it also felt like him disappearing was him talking to somebody else, either an ex or somebody.
Okay.
But yeah, I
So
like that. He, at the end, he made a comment about, well, I'll just see you on Instagram. So I
okay.
like
Okay.
right there.
So Dev, sending that message, was that you kind of putting an end to it on your end, or
Yeah, I mean that was the point of the message.
okay.
One thing about the yawning, I probably yawned in every single voice message I ever sent her. So I don't
Yeah.
want her. I don't want it to sound
Oh, she was like, well, yeah, that you kind of did and everything.
like I went out of my way to like
Oh my
sound like
God.
I didn't care at all, because that's not the case.
Damn.
I will say I am very relaxed even when I'm talking about something, fairly serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
just kind of the way I am. So I didn't want it to come off that way. I didn't want it to come off where to the point where it hurt you like the way you have expressed that. That wasn't my goal or my intention
Okay.
at all. But yeah, that was the point of that message. And yeah, honestly, I just didn't know how. I didn't know what to say. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I see you around, like no, like, and then yeah, I just kind of tagged that on there. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think she's wrong with, I guess, my tone in that message, because that is typically how I am. But yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to hurt you like that at all. I also didn't realize not the severity, but I guess there was a difference in how serious we were at each point, like the level of seriousness we felt each about the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were where you were. So yeah, I'm sorry. I would have approached that I would have approached that completely differently, had I known that. So I do apologize for that.
I I hear you say like we weren't at the same level emotionally, but that's not what you conveyed to me. Like it I just wish y'all could have lived it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't make this up. He did most of the work in terms of like being super consistent and
Okay.
intentional, and the questions he asked were very like, I want to get to know you. I want to move forward with you. I want to build a
There's situations like this. I've seen this a few times in the past on this show, to where there is a certain reason as to why one person doesn't want to make it work. The reason never gets fully revealed. You kind of get to run around a bush, and it's like something else in their life that goes on that you actually will never find out. Maybe some Instagram or TikTok post, or some people in real life that know them behind the scenes might DM somebody or something, and then people might, oh, this happened with this. That's why nobody on the show knows this. That's why he really ghosted her, or that's why she really ghosted him. We'll never know. I think there's some stuff here because we still didn't get the definitive answer that we're looking for from dude. But I think it's something that we're never gonna find out. We're never gonna know. He's never gonna fully reveal it because dude seems super shallow. I can't. He can't shake it, man. You see, he might be cool as a dude to hang out with sometimes, like if you know him. But as far as relationship wise, goddamn, I don't know, man.
future with you.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that I was a little further emotionally is it's like so far from the truth, because you were attracted. You said that you were interested. Um, you were you were just super in with me. So how you're conveying it now is as if, well, I was just going with the wind, but you weren't going with the wind. You told me certain things. You expressed how you felt, and we talked about deeper things that, like you said, aren't just surface level. They aren't just normal conversations. So that means something to someone, and whether or not it meant something to you, that's something I didn't know. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't pick up on. I didn't know because you showed up. You showed up, and all I had was your words and your actions. But then to find out that you're actually a liar, and you basically manipulated the whole thing. You you just made it seem like emotionally I was in this alone when I clearly wasn't. Like we have the voice messages to prove it. We have this story that we're telling now. Like it just is what it is. And I honestly didn't appreciate everything that you put me through.
Uh,
Go ahead, Dev.
the I don't like the point of the date, though, is almost like a crash course into getting to know somebody, simply because the dynamic of what is happening, the fact that you are going back to California, you know right after that date ended. So yeah, I'm trying to get to know you as much as possible quickly, to try to discern whether or not, if this is something that we can continue to do, because it's not like I can be like, all right, that first date was cool, let me
Mm-hmm.
see what she's doing in a couple days. And then we go do something else. And then we go do something else. And then now, that was 3 days of conversation that we squeezed into, a 4 hour long first date. So I just feel like I don't know. It kind of feels unfair because it's almost like you're acting like I didn't care when I was asking all those questions, but like there was a purpose to all those questions, so I can get to know you, so I can make the decision on like how I felt about us moving forward. And you
Okay.
Right.
called me a liar. What did I lie about? What did I manipulate?
You manipulated the entire situation. You lied and said that you could afford your lifestyle
Uh-huh.
and possibly move on to create a family. Then you come back
Sure.
and you say you had goals that I never heard about other than basketball and playing games, video games. So you lied about supposed.
That's not a lie. That's just new information. You barely know him. But the way you just framed that was just like, you're telling me this. You never told me that before, so you lied about it. I lied about something that I just never told you. We're still getting to know each other. Like I even said earlier on in the video a few minutes ago, they don't even know what each other looks like in the dark. You know what I mean? At night to go on a real date. That's what I'm saying. Y'all should have scheduled something like 2 weeks out, meet in the middle somewhere, and then really gonna hang out again. But we could see that didn't happen. But as for his side, we still didn't get a definitive answer on, the actual, the real thing, the actual reason why he ghosted you multiple times. Ask him that straight up. What's the multiple ghosting? And you kind of led me on. And you just didn't. Ask him, did you think about me? Like, did you think about how I was going to feel? Or you just kind of did that to me on purpose? That's what really needs to be asked here.
Goals. You lied about um, us not being able to come to a consensus of whether or not we want a kid in the next few years or years later. You
Oh,
lied about that because you didn't come to me and ask me. It was like you just came up with some type of um, idea that it just wasn't going to work, and then you're expressing other things that I didn't even know. So you lied about that because you made it seem like, oh, it was just the timeline, but really you felt bad. You felt some type of way about me not going to the gym every day. Like it's like you.
that's again, I don't know how she got out. It's just some shit that you didn't know, but it was the information that he just told you was so crucial that it felt like a lot. It felt like the same exact, like you being lied to and you finding out that gave you the same exact feeling, but you don't know how to express it in words. So you're just gonna be like, you lied. It's like, no, I just never said anything. But he should have said that. On to her point, that's what he should have said about the gym, all this other stuff. I want my wife to, da da da. The thing with that is, I think when he went to, I want to date somebody within the circumference of me, close in my area, in the framing of where I live at, so we can go to the gym. So that goes more to him going, I would prefer for somebody to be closer because of this added on. Now, what he did lie about is being cool with long distance. Ask him that too. The way she's thinking right now, she's not asking these right questions that hit him hard. Hey, you said long distance, you would be cool with that, right? But then you said you would rather have somebody closer to you so you can work out with them every day. But you said you was cool with long distance. So these two things don't match. So now what's the real problem? Do you not like me? Did you match with me for a certain reason? Whatever, you thought you would like me, you just don't. It's okay to say that you don't like me. You might not like the way I look or something like that. Just some things that you saw after we matched that ultimately you were just like, wait a minute, I don't think I should have matched. I'm not feeling you after all. I made a mistake. Just say that. You know what I mean?
You're throwing these things out, but I had no idea the entire time because of how you came off, which is manipulative.
Right, but if I have all those conversations with you, then it's only going to make things like say I have all those conversations with you, and then what it seems like is I'm really, really, really trying to make it work, and then I still come to that same conclusion. Like, okay, the timeline still's not changing with the children. All that's going to do is make you feel like I manipulated you more. If I sit
But
there and I'm like, hey, this is how I feel about the gym. It's like, hey, can you do that? And so I just don't understand. You said I lied about like what could cybersecurity sustain me and the family.
Mhm.
Like that wasn't a lie. I just don't plan on stopping working anytime soon, or at least within like the next like another year goes by, and it's like I plan on this time next year. I still plan on working the three jobs that I have right now.
and that's
So I,
why did you say? Why did you then say I don't I'm so far from where I want to be and I can't afford a family right now? Why'd you say that in the voice message then?
it wasn't
That's
about supporting a family. what
Like,
happened what happens is I do have all these same goals, and then a
Mhm.
lot of times everything feels like they're on track, and then things kind of offset a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, there's no way, like there's no way I can shorten my timeline. That's really what
Here's the thing. He's talking about a lifestyle. I think he meant to word it. I'm gonna not even give him a point, but I'm gonna just say this for my sake, listening sake. It seems like it's like, hey, I want to be able to afford a family in a certain lifestyle. So that's why, stacking up, take advantage of you being single. Nobody, you don't got nobody, whatever. You want to stack up enough money to be able to live a certain lifestyle and have a family. But the way I'm living right now, I can't afford it at this. Is that what you meant, dude? Like, is it?
it came down to. It was like there's no way I'm having kids before I'm 35. Like it was like there was no way. And then that's when I said that to you, because in my head I was like, no, there's no way. And I don't want you to feel, like I didn't want that to become a problem in the future. Like I said before, like
Okay.
right.
that
But
wasn't a different thing.
you
You said
could
what?
you could have talked to me about that.
So I guess the problem, it sounds like, between the two of you is, Kylah, you felt like when he was sending you these voice messages, that was him being intentional, getting to know you more, and trying to work towards it. So when you were ghosted, essentially, you kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what it
It
sounds
it
like.
was a side swipe. like
Okay.
it was so random because again, he was in it. We were
Yeah.
both in it. And then like to say that emotionally there was a difference, that just doesn't make sense because that's just not what I picked up on. I can only take you for what you put out. Like
Hmm.
I didn't make this up.
And then Dev, so you're kind of saying that was you still kind of getting a feel for if this is something you wanted to dive into. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't feel like okay, like we matched, like this is it.
Hmm.
Let's go get married. Like it I don't think I can't control how I'm perceived. Like
Hmm.
I have no control over that. But I don't think I was as invested as I would typically be in any situation. Like the only difference is the fact that I was trying to dig a little bit deeper than I typically would, just
Okay.
because the circumstances of everything.
Dude, it sounds like you're just in your own way, fam. You're just in your own way. She was way more extremely intentional, and you just weren't. You might as well just say that, dude. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I guess there was definitely a difference in that. Um, I was interested. Like I wasn't interested, and I was just sitting there acting like I was interested the whole time. No, we had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Anybody that asked me, I'm like, yo, we had coffee for 4 hours. They're like, damn, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Like she's super cool. Like the conversation was good.
Hmm.
But then I gotta ingest all that information and then like decide what I want to do with it. And that's all that happened.
Hmm.
I didn't mean to come off like, or I didn't mean to, I guess, give you the wrong impression with the
Impression.
way I
Yeah.
was responding and the interest that I was showing. But I mean, it was genuine in that moment. Like,
So overall, how long would you say you guys talked for, like from the time of the show, from the time it ended?
I mean, if you really want to give it like a timeline, you could say like maybe a week and a half.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you wanna insert all the any gaps, then you're like, okay, two.
Mm.
But it was just like a heavy first couple of days. Like we had that date, bam,
Hmm.
talk, make sure she got back, cool, talk, 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 and then on Thursday before I went to work, before I stopped responding, I sent her a message and I said, hey, I just wanted to send you a message letting you know that I'm about to go to work and I'm going to be here all day.
Hmm.
To try to kind of get ahead of the fact that I knew I would be pretty
Busy.
unresponsive just
Hmm.
for a period of time, and then yeah, I don't. And then at that point, I think I still just needed to respond to the previous messages. And then yeah, I wasn't. I
So
did have a lot going on, but I mean,
you
I can't say
did
I
say,
was too busy.
you
You said
did
what?
say you did say that you were going to work, but that's not the day that you ghosted me. That was previous to that. I guess we're more so focused on the ghosting period because that was during what I call was consistent because I didn't even fault you for that because we have lives. Like you have work, I have music, so I'm not faulting you for having work that day. That
Hmm.
in the clear. The ghosting part wasn't, which was
Yeah, I
after
thought
that.
that was. I thought that was a Thursday, and then I thought I probably responded.
Bro, all right,
Yeah,
all right. Ask her, y'all, all right, y'all think y'all thought. I would say, hey, I would have said, hey, like if I was Arlette getting fed up. She tired. I'm tired too. Arlette gotta ask these questions like, hey, what's the first time you felt ghosted when he didn't respond for the first 3 days? Okay, what's the second time when he didn't respond for 4 days? What's the third time? Because it was one instance where it took him 3 days to respond. You felt ghosted then, right? Okay, I almost said cool, but yeah, that's not cool. And then there was another time where it was 7 days. So you got 3 days, 7 days, 6 days, a week and a half. Like what are we doing here?
because that would have been
What
Thursday,
was the final ghost?
because then it would have been nothing after that. Then Friday, and then I think Saturday is when you like checked in, make sure I was still alive, and I was like, I'll respond tomorrow.
Mm.
And then Sunday had like my intention was to respond on Sunday, and then I ended up responding on Monday. So that was when that first gap happened. I'm not saying that that makes it okay. Like I went a very long time with responding, and I was not too busy to respond at all. I don't think anyone is ever that
That's
busy.
why.
I will not say that.
That's
Uh,
it was never that you were too busy because just like you responded right away, you were never too
well,
busy.
sometimes it just depends on where my phone is when I get a message. Like if you hit me and I have my phone in my hand, then yeah, I'm not gonna like read your message that says like, "Hey, just checking in. Are you okay?" and be like, "I'll respond to it later." It was like, no, I was like, "Oh, well, I'm right here. Let me let her know I didn't die." Oh, also, not to. I mean, we could keep talking about this,
Yeah. And we're
but
gonna wrap it up soon, but go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
please.
you said you figured it was somebody else or something
It
else.
has to be.
That was not the case. I'm literally, it was just my normal life. It was just
Mm.
my normal life that kind of got in the way. So yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, just to go ahead and wrap
Yeah,
this
please
up, do
wrap
you
this
guys
up.
have any final thoughts that you want to say?
Fam, if I'm moving around all day and I'm working all day, there's one sentence text message. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm a little busy today. Da da da. What's going on? Da, da, da. We might talk about like a movie or something cool that we're seeing or something we could plan on. Just like little conversations here and there. It don't have to be full blown paragraphs and full blown telephone FaceTimes. Y'all send voice messages to each other already. That's quick and fast. I can move around a day and do that, man. Like you just didn't like this girl. You had other girls, and you just want to seem like a worse person. Some people are self aware that they're terrible people. They just need help. You know what I mean? Man. I mean, for the most part, she seems super emotionally invested. He wasn't. We can obviously see that. Of course, he probably really wanted to see where it goes, and he really wanted to kind of dig into her the first time they had coffee. Asked some great questions, and as soon as he went away, the real came out, and he just fell off, man. I mean, even I guess what he said about his girlfriend. She's something to do. She's convenient, and she was close to him. I guess, right? Convenience. But yeah, that's all.
I
We ain't gonna ever really know the real reason with this dude. So
had a question.
Mhm.
So I got word that you actually did go out the night that you told me we weren't gonna meet up.
I did not. I swear to you on everything that exists.
Okay.
That's crazy. Who told you that? I came home, me and my brother, and he sat on this couch and went to sleep, and I went to my room and I went to sleep because I had to work the next.
didn't he tell you that he already ate or something like that? I don't want to rewind this thing because I remember her saying something about already ate and something about his. I don't know, something about the brother and some food he already ate or some shit.
Next day. I did not go out. I promise you, I did not go out.
Did they say what club he was
Okay.
at or
Not
wherever?
see any of those people from the show. I did not go out. I ate. I don't remember what I ate.
Okay, he did
Probably the
eat.
same thing that I tell you I eat every night, and I went to sleep.
Okay, he didn't go anywhere and eat. Okay, all
All
right.
right. Well,
I guess, bro.
to end this off on a better note, any final project you guys are working on, anything we can look forward to
Yourselves, all right. Get that together. You, my guy, you're all over the place, and I don't know. She'll. I don't know. I don't really got nothing to tell her. It was out of her hands. You ghosted her like 3 times, man, fam. Like you kind of let her on, and yeah. So, homegirl, good luck to you, and you, my man, you got to get it together. That's it. You got 3 jobs. You got the cake. You'll be all right.